Hello, my name is Kelly Trout, and I am the Director of Research and Medical Advocacy for the International WAGR Syndrome Association. I am honored and delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you today about WAGR syndrome and about how our organization has achieved an exciting level of success in stimulating research on this very rare disorder. This presentation will focus on collaboration because we believe this approach is at the heart of innovation in rare disease research. We believe this approach can be replicated by others to achieve similar success. First, let me tell you about this disorder. WAGR syndrome is considered an ultra-rare disorder with an incidence of about 1 in 1 million births. WAGR is an acronym for the most prominent features of the disorder. The W is for Wilms tumor, a type of cancer of the kidney. About 50% of children with WAGR syndrome develop Wilms tumor, usually by the age of 3. The tumor is treatable with surgery and chemotherapy, and if diagnosed early, the overall survival rate is very good. Infants with WAGR syndrome begin a surveillance regimen of abdominal ultrasounds every 3 months from birth to at least age 8 in order to detect this tumor early. The A in WAGR stands for aniridia, a near complete absence of the iris of the eye. In addition to low vision, aniridia is often associated with the development of cataracts, glaucoma, and other complications that can lead to blindness. The G is for genitourinary abnormalities, including cryptorchidism or hypospadias in boys, and abnormalities of the ovaries or uterus in girls. The R stands for a range of developmental delays. Unfortunately, the acronym doesn't cover all of the conditions associated with this disorder. In fact, as you can see, WAGR syndrome typically affects a wide variety of systems in the body, from the brain to the heart to the bones, to movement, sleep, and behavior. The genetic basis for some of these conditions, including the role of the WT1 gene in Wilms tumor and the PAX6 gene in aniridia, have been well known for some time. Other genes, such as the brain-derived neurotrophic factor or BDNF gene, have only recently been discovered and their role in WAGR syndrome validated. The genetic basis for most of these other conditions are still a mystery, but the answers are closer and more tantalizing than they have ever been before. WAGR syndrome is usually diagnosed at birth or soon after, when sporadic aniridia is found and leads to molecular cytogenetic testing. This testing reveals a deletion of a segment of chromosome 11, including the PAX6 and WT1 genes. In terms of research, one of the very interesting things about WAGR syndrome is that the exact size and position of the deletion can vary substantially from one individual to another, resulting in a highly variable phenotype. This variability presents intriguing opportunities to discover and validate the function of genes found in or near the WAGR locus. Treatment for WAGR syndrome involves regular surveillance, early diagnosis, and careful management of the conditions associated with it. As a patient advocacy organization, the mission of the International WAGR Syndrome Association has 3 parts: promoting awareness, stimulating research, and supporting patients and families. You'll notice that our mission involves stimulating research rather than direct funding. WAGR syndrome is an extremely rare disorder, and we are a very small organization. So direct funding is really out of the question. And yet, we have been highly successful getting research accomplished. What is our secret? We focus on collaboration. We believe that collaboration has tremendous power to spark innovation and research because every stakeholder in the process, from patients to researchers to other patient organizations to funding agencies, brings a unique set of knowledge and skills and resources to the table. By working together, we can create a force that makes big things happen. What kinds of big things? Let's look at research on just one of the conditions associated with WAGR syndrome, Wilms tumor. In the past 2 years, our organization has hosted a major scientific symposium on Wilms tumor. We have been involved in the publication of 5 major papers, 1 imaging study, a new chapter in a medical textbook, and in the creation, development, and funding of a new mouse model. This model will test an extraordinary hypothesis involving prevention of Wilms tumor in children with this disorder. This is a lot of research in a short period of time on an ultra-rare disorder. We've accomplished it by understanding our place in the collaborative ecosystem and building relationships with others in this system. As we see it, the research collaborative for WAGR syndrome involves patients and families of people with WAGR syndrome, researchers involved in basic, translational, or clinical fields involving aspects of the conditions associated with this disorder, other patient advocacy organizations for related disorders, and potential funders of research, such as government and non-governmental agencies, nonprofit grantors, and private family foundations. In terms of patients and families, one of the most important things that the International WAGR Syndrome Association has done to create a comprehensive patient registry. This registry collects data about the disorder that can help inform decisions about clinical care. But it's much more than that. It's also a very powerful tool for enabling collaboration. It helps researchers to recruit patients for studies, and it has helped create a community of patients who are research ready, meaning they are knowledgeable about how the research process works, and they understand informed consent, and they are motivated to participate in research studies as a result. Another collaborative tool that helps patients and researchers is our ability to disseminate the results of research studies and the publication of important findings through our website and on a variety of social media platforms. In terms of collaboration with researchers, we've had terrific success by becoming a nexus where researchers across the world and in different fields can connect with each other and discover areas of clinical and genetic overlap. Our work with Professor Vanden Heuvel-Eybrink, for example, led to direct assistance for Dr. Andrew Murphy to create more effective and successful xenografts in his lab. And for Dr. Peter Ehrlich, it led to a 6-month training sabbatical in the Netherlands. An interest in Wilms tumor brought these investigators into similar orbits, but the International WAGR Syndrome Association helped them to actually cross paths. Patient advocacy organizations for rare disorders are sort of a universe of our own, and we cross paths in all sorts of ways. There are large umbrella groups like Eurordis, which lobby for governmental support of research on rare diseases and also help train patient advocates. Then there are groups like Aniridia Europe, which are coalitions of multiple national organizations that are focused on the same or related conditions, like the Russian Interregional Center for Patients with Aniridia. These groups serve to amplify the efforts of their members to engage in research. And then there are the very small organizations like the International WAGR Syndrome Association, which focus on a single disorder. Patient advocacy is a big landscape with a lot of moving pieces. But if you are a researcher and you want to maximize your ability to find rare patients or their data or their biospecimens, then an understanding of who your patient advocacy organizations are, how they work with each other, and how you can work with all of us can make all the difference in the world. And finally, of course, there's funding. If casting a wide net catches more fish, then collaborating with a wide variety of potential funders catches more money. In 2018, the International WAGR Syndrome Association hosted a scientific symposium that we funded with a large grant from a US government agency called PCORI, and with smaller contributions from a nonprofit restricted research fund. This conference started producing research projects immediately, and we have facilitated funding for them from a variety of sources, including small private family foundations and large nonprofit research funders. So here again, close and creative collaboration between stakeholders is making research on even the rarest of disorders not only possible, but a reality. If you have any questions about WAGR syndrome, the conditions associated with this disorder, or anything I've spoken about today, please feel free to check out our website, wagr.org, or to contact me directly via email at this address. On behalf of the children and families of the International WAGR Syndrome Association, I want to thank the organizers of this great conference and everyone attending as well. Your dedication to rare disease research and your passion for finding new treatments and cures gives all of us real hope for the future. Thank you.